Hello, good morning. I'm the Ginger Magician. I'm just making this video really quickly for you guys. Just going to cover a couple of things about the kingdom building. Really, a lot of people ask me a lot of questions about it. Excuse me, sorry. And I just really wanted to basically cover the basics. So I'm just going to bring up my map so you guys can see how far I am. I've done the trolls, all right, and I've just got the message to start the season of the bloom. So I've just got the message to go to the hunt, which is when the season of the bloom starts. I only have the Southern Marshes, I only have Shrike, and I only have the outskirts. But to say that, my stats are doing pretty well. I have 5 advisors of my primary stats, which are the 5 here. No, it's not. It's divine. Divine, economy, military, loyalty, and community. These are the 5 stats that I have. But I've also already unlocked my warden, which is this guy who does stability. He is the secondary one from military, which I've got Ragongar in there at the moment. So I'm quickly going to cover the advisors and how to unlock them. So you've got your primary stats here. Your primary stats is divine, economy, military, loyalty, and community. Okay. When you reach rank 3 and over 60 on the value and rank 3, it unlocks a secondary portion. I'm waiting for my economy to unlock right now. Which is Bartholomew. I've got a quest to speak to him about it, or he will come and speak to me about it shortly. I've just been away from my kingdom, so he hasn't been able to speak to me at the moment. Currently, you can see I have 36 BP per week and 513 BP. If you hover over your build points per week, it shows you where you get them from. So it's obviously Bravoy, regions, economy bonus, base income, and then you've got -6 for the tax. My BP, I heavily supplement my BP with the money that I make while I'm out adventuring. So if I have an item that I know that none of my characters that I'm using can use, I sell it. And then I buy build points from Hasuf in the central square, which at the start of the game I would heavily suggest you do. I mean, my first playthrough I hoarded and it didn't work out so well, but if you can use the build points to do all of the projects and you can get them done super quickly, it's beneficial to you. But I'll go a little bit more in detail into that. So you have your primary 5, you get another 5 advisors, and you can switch them out. You can obviously see different people can go into different roles, however you want them. It depends upon what your personal choice is. I'm playing a lawful evil, as you can see from my Stolen Lands stature here. So I'm a lawful evil barony, which makes sense. So I have got Ringongar, Bartholomew, Harim, and Keston. That's the people I prefer. I could switch them out, but I don't need to. My military at the moment is really strong. I'll just pop you into my town, Tuskdale, my main town, my central town, just so you can see how I set it up at the start. So my first main core buildings was barracks, a bulletin board, obviously a longhouse, a tavern, a shop, and a foundry, because they all get like semi-adjacency bonuses here. And then obviously my secondary buildings, I went for pure military, so I built a fort, a jail, and they all have like adjacency bonuses with each other. I also built stocks. Stocks are important because they give you a +1 bonus on solving problems in the region. So if you have an event that happens in the region, you get a +1 bonus to it just by having the stocks there, which is quite important. I also have a brewery here, just because I like beer, really. So I've got the brewery, the granary, and the watchtower over here, just so you guys are all aware of that. They all have bonuses. You can highlight them and you can see what bonuses they are. A building for brewing beer, ale, and other fine beverages. +1 loyalty when located in a settlement with a windmill. +1 stability when located in a settlement with a tavern. I don't believe I've actually built my windmill in here yet. No, I haven't, because I'm waiting for one of the slots to open up. So, if you go over the stats here, it shows you the stats that this town. So this is what this town makes, okay? And then this is what your kingdom stats are overall, okay? Just so you guys are aware. These are the things that I have built. I must have already built a windmill and just forgot about it. I'm so stupid. So that's the first layout of my town. I tend to do my first 3 towns in a military layout, and then the regions I get afterwards, I focus them on a single thing, either magic, economy, loyalty, community, just so that my overall stats are increased by that. But at the start, it can be quite difficult. You really want to focus on your military, at least I do. So let's get into your event cards. So event cards, you're going to have 2 types of event cards, really. You're going to have problems, and you are going to have ones that are called okay, I think I only have problems at the moment. Yeah, I do. So I only have problems at the moment, which this happens quite a lot. You get a lot of problems because you're managing a brand new kingdom, right? So this one, I don't have anyone. Oh, I do have Octavia. Octavia can give it a go. So she's going to give it a go. I'll start that on her. So your problems are the ones that obviously cause you the problem. They're the ones that you have to deal with. If you don't deal with a problem, you will get negative effects upon your kingdom. Okay? The DC check is always here. And it's on a D20 roll. So the DC is 13. It's a D20 roll, but it's +12 because like I said, I really focus on military. So stat rank, kingdom stat, and the leader bonus gives him +12. It's really important. I'm actually going to cancel that because there's something I need to show you with the advisors. You want to, obviously, the higher DC, you want your best guys to be doing it. Things like this, you can use your secondary guy on, because every time you succeed in an event, you get a +1. Every time you lose an event, you get a -1 on the problems. So you need to be aware of that. Problems will always give you minuses. Opportunities will very rarely give you minuses. They do give you minuses, but it will happen very rarely. So mostly opportunities are good things, but you don't want to focus on them at the start unless you know you have the time. From my personal experience, you get between, probably I would say between the 2nd and the 6th is when you get one wave of problems and opportunities, and then around I would say the 14th till the 17th, you would usually get another wave of them. So what I do is I always come back to my capital around the 2nd or the 4th, and I'll deal with the problems, and then I'll go back out, and then I'll come back. So that I know that I'm dealing with my problems. Bear in mind that to access this screen, all you need to be is in one of your regions or along the border. So I don't have to go back to Tuskdale. If I'm in the Dianar Marshes, I can just come to this point here, and then I can access this screen. I can assign people to deal with the issues that I'm having, and that is very important as well. Another thing that's hugely important is this. Okay, so you have here charisma. You see it, charisma. All right, Octavia and Valerie aren't in my party. Okay, but what you need to do is every time you get a charisma item, like a headband that's spare, you need to go in if they're not in your party, and you need to make sure they have it equipped, because their base rank is based off of the stat. Okay, so if you have like Octavia with like no charisma items, she's going to be so much worse. But if you have Valerie with like loads of charisma items, she's obviously going to be so much better. So you need to be bearing that in mind when you choose who your advisors are. That obviously makes some of these guys, like Jubilos here, a little bit better. But That's because you can increase their stat with items. But I just like the way that Bartholomew deals with the problems in the events, because they do both deal with things differently. They have different inputs and different outputs on how problems should be dealt with. So be aware of that. Projects. Oh, projects. You will get a lot of projects, okay? You will get a lot. This is small. On my other game, I'm in chapter 7. I have this. You can literally move it, and you can't see the end of it. Just so you're aware. Projects are things like this. Ambitious recruits. +2 bonus to solve events with the general. However, every time this results in a failure or great failure, lose 1 military point. So my general has a +2 from this. But if I fail with him, I lose a military point. As you can see, my general is quite stacked at +12 at the moment, so he doesn't really tend to lose much points. Low taxes. Any opportunity resolved by the treasurer increases economy by 1, which is why my economy has got quite high, because Bartholomew he's quite a good advisor. Border training camps. The frontier hardens even the strongest soldiers, provides a +2 bonus to solve problems. Now, you can all get these at the start, depending upon your choices with who you choose to take them, you know? So, and what choices you take when you have the conversation options. Supporting the High Priest's events. This is important, okay? And the reason these are important is because these take a time out. I will just give you a quick demonstration. So it's the 7th, which means I'll have some issues when it happens. But I'll click the button just so you can see. Here we go. It takes 14 days. In those 14 days, you can do nothing. So you need to be very well aware that when you click that button, you are going to have a lot of events happen up here. This is the Rotten Beasts. This is the problem that I removed Octavia from. Okay. And as you can see, it keeps going. If you don't deal with it, there are certain events that will cause you an extreme amount of discomfort. As you can see here, I didn't deal with the problem, and it has given me a massive disaster. -19, -19, -19. I don't know why I've not gotten down from Serene. That's a little odd. But I am at Serene, and it is quite hard to get down from there. So loyalty, community, and stability, and +3 BP. This is what I got from the greedy tax collector. This is what you're going to be looking at getting from successes, which is quite good. Problem, devastating raids. I triumphed, which means I got +3 military from it. And then we're just going to go straight into the events. So because I didn't deal with that problem, I got quite a substantial amount of negative effects. My kingdom is on Serene at the moment. I was surprised that it didn't go down from that. I was actually expecting it to go down so I could tell you about the different levels. But apparently that didn't. But this is an opportunity. This is what I was talking about before. If I don't do this, it won't hurt my kingdom. It does sometimes, but very, very, very rarely. And I've got a visit waiting me in the castle. But I was hoping that my kingdom would be put down by that. So you've got different ranks to your kingdom. Serene is the highest. I put a lot of effort in at the very start to get my kingdom to be Serene. In fact, I don't even know how it got to Serene. I'm very, very good at micromanaging all of the events. So it goes Serene, Stable, and then it goes into the negative effects. So here, Serene is +1, Stable is nothing, and then as you go down, each rank you go down, I believe it's Worried, then Devastated, and then Riots, and it's -1 each time until you get to Destroyed. You can go into Escape options, and you can go to difficulty, and you can scroll down to here, and you can. My kingdom management is not easy because I don't feel as though it's very balanced at the moment, which even the devs have turned around and said that they're going to be doing a lot of changes to the kingdom management. So at the moment I just have it on easy until they've decided that they're going to change it to whatever they choose to do. So anyways, I hope that gives you a general overview of how I run my kingdoms and what you should do. Please feel free to comment on the YouTube video. That's my girlfriend telling my puppy off. I'm sorry about that. He's only 14 weeks old. So please feel free to comment on the YouTube video or talk to me in the Facebook group. I'll happily answer any questions you've got when it concerns kingdom management. Like I said, there's some things you need to deal with, there's some things you don't need to deal with. Problems, deal with them. Opportunities, only if you have a spare advisor. On this particular run, I'm pushing to get the advisors as quickly as I can because I know how to. I hope the information that I've given you is helpful, and like I said, I'm available all the time, either via my Discord, on the Facebook group, you can tag me in a post, or on my stream. Okay, so feel free to come and ask me questions, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks.